I was an international student who came to New Zealand to study, not quantity survey though. Back then I just chose a major that can help me to get my residency, and after I got my residency I start to lose my focus. What is my real passion and what I really want to be achieved in a 10, 15, 20 years time, or even longer than that. And I find that my passion actually is just to learning new knowledge and to find a industry that is ever evolving and always changing. And I find that construction actually is one of the industry really attracts me on that. And then I read about this title called quantity surveyor. At the time I have no idea what it does, and I never even heard about that term. And so I do more research about it, and the more I read it, and the more it sounds not clear. What do you mean that is doing the measure of the construction? What do you mean is actually doing the costing? What do you mean is doing the cash flow? What do you mean is doing variation? What do you mean about disputes? So the more I read, the more I feel like there's more things to it. So that got my first of the interest and to get in and step into the door. So I signed myself up for a quantity survey study, and for the first semester I very bad at it because nothing makes sense. Everything is completely new knowledge. As someone who don't have a background of construction, it's really struggle. I do share your struggle. If you are currently studying and nothing makes sense, trust me, it will get better, but you never can learn all the knowledge in construction because the construction is always changing. This is the good part and the bad part. So if you're someone who like to be on top of everything, this is probably going to be very challenging for you. But if you're someone who like the challenge and like to keep learning, like constant self-developing, this probably is a good career for you. So after I done my study, and actually during my study, I was a tutorial assistant promoted by my lecturer, and that actually gave me another push that I have to be learning faster and get better compared to other students, because they will come to me and ask me questions that I may not knowing about it. So I learned so much things in my spare time, and then I quickly got a internship and I start to work in the industry in pretty much the second year of my study. But I start my tutorial assistant at about the first three months of my study already. So that gave me the first taste of what it's like to work in the construction industry, which was fun, by the way, at the time. And it's still fun, but it's in a different way now. And then after I've graduated, I've become full-time into doing quantity surveying work. I worked in residential, I worked in commercial, and I worked in the roading, bridges, tunnels, infrastructure, and major projects. And then I find that actually I quite like the major projects. And one of the reasons is every single major projects are very different. You can't apply anything that you learned from the last project to the next project. Sounds quite sucks, eh? But still you learn lots of new information, and which is quite cool that for you to keep learning about new stuff. Like last time I could do water treatment plant, and then I can do a big factory, and then I can do a geothermal power plant, and I can do a dam, and I can do a culvert, I can do tunnels, which is really cool, and you get to expose to so many fields that you never think about it. But this is also the good part of the quantity survey. You actually can be in all those fields. If you're interested in any particular ones, there is your way, you can get to it.